Hey guys, it's Mr. Dugal, and today we're going to talk about slope-intercept form. Slope-intercept form uses the equation y equals mx plus b, where b is the y-intercept, and m is our slope. Think about slope as the growth on a line, and the y-intercept almost as a starting place. So to use my coordinate grid, graph a y-axis, graph my x-axis, if we had a line that said y equals negative 3x plus 4, my y-intercept means where on the y-axis does it start at, my starting place. So if it starts at positive 4, I'm going to go up 4. So when x is 0, y is 4. That's my y-intercept. It's where it intersects the y-axis. My slope, my growth, is actually negative, so my line needs to be negative. And we talked about with slope to think about rise over run. We said that all slopes can be shown in fraction form. So even if it doesn't show us a fraction, it still is a fraction, right? It's negative 3 over 1. This means that as we rise, negative 3, or as we go down 3, 1, 2, 3, we have to go over positive 1. So my point would be right here, because I'm going from negative 4 to negative 1, that's down 3. And I'm going from 0 to positive 1, that's a run of 1. So my line would follow a slope like this. This would be the line y equals negative 3x plus 4. You might also encounter a question that tells you that we have a growth rate of 5, and it has the point 0, negative 4. And it wants you to graph that in y-intercept form. It wants you to come up with the equation and graph it on our coordinate grid. So we have y equals mx plus b, growth rate. So if we check back to our definitions, slope represented growth. When it comes to y equals mx plus b, right now we're just considering y and x as placeholders, and we're going to enter the y-intercept where b is and slope where m is. So as I think of my growth rate as 5, we remembered that growth is really slope. So my slope, or my m, is 5. We also have the equation 0, negative 4. I want us to stop and think through, what would that mean about our graph? If I were to plot 0, negative 4, what would that mean about my graph? What that would mean is that my graph intersects the y-axis at negative 4. So my y-intercept is negative 4. My y-intercept exists whenever x is 0. So right now I have the line y equals 5x plus negative 4. So I have to rise. Again, my fraction here is m equals 5 over 1, so my rise is 5. My run is 1, so I'm going to rise 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm up past the x-axis. And I'm going to run 1. So my point is right here. This is the line y equals 5x plus negative 4. Another way to write this equation would be y equals 5x minus 4, because adding a negative is really the same thing as subtracting a positive. We're going to do one more where we actually see an equation where the slope is an actual common fraction, where it's not a denominator of 1, where it's not a unit rate. So if the equation is y equals negative 4/3 x minus 5, this might seem intimidating, but it's no different than the others. If anything, it actually saves us a step because we don't have to turn our whole number into a fraction. It already is a fraction for us. My y-intercept here, b is negative 5, m, my slope, my growth is negative 4/3. So if my y-intercept is negative 5, that means I'm starting at 0, negative 5. I have a slope of negative 4/3, or that means my rise is negative 4. I'm decreasing 4 vertically on the y-axis for every 3 I'm running, or increasing by 3. So I'm going to decrease by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. For every 3 I run, 1, 2, 3. It's going to put me right there is where the points intersect. And I have a rough sketch line for y equals negative 4/3 x minus 5.